you might be able to emulate it and simulate it, but it's different. There's a reality of the screen and the software, and there's another reality which is that of the physical, tangible form. There was no preference. I just recorded as many shapes as possible. I wasn't being selective. Just tried to record what was there. You might want to see it as some form of diary, holding note, but in physical form. The shapes that you see downstairs, the ones that are now 3D printed, came about from me selecting and taking apart the system that I'd made already. When I said that I was trying to record some sort of object memory, that's to say that all the objects and things and handheld pieces and geometric shapes that I came across throughout my day that had left some sort of impression on me, I tried to then transfer that impression onto the modeling clay. Then it got so obscured that I couldn't even remember what the initial object was anymore. Yeah, so I mean, it could be a door handle, it was a knife, it was a lamp, it was a lamppost, a bollard, a gate, a lock, a key, mostly handheld interfaces. The early stages, I started to realize that they're inherently linked because I've been making them. So they all have my craft in common, my way of making and sculpting. So they all had very similar visual feel and tactile feel to them. And I made them all the same sort of scale and size on purpose. So automatically they started to fit in with each other a lot better. And I used one object to imprint another. So if I had a little sphere, I would use it to make a concave. So it became kind of a little self-perpetuating system of shapes that became tools to make other shapes that could fit in with the system. I think they work on their own, but together they work differently, or they make another system. So, like a sphere on its own is a sphere and it rolls around, but as soon as you put it in another concave, then it sort of implies a joint. The testing was simple. You just put the objects on a table, and whoever is in proximity to it to recognize it starts playing with them. Most reactions were the same. They saw it as some sort of toy or plaything, something to construct with. It's like a form or a shape that you can assign some sort of function to. Now that's up to you to imagine and speculate and try out. If it doesn't work, try another shape. Try morphing the two shapes. It's a bit like pieces that you could fit in together to maybe come up with something else. That could be, I don't know, the next telephone. So part of having fun is trying to beat the odds of what's logical. So, of course, you have these spheres and the concaves and rounded parts that fit into other geometric parts. And yet, you have this one guy that tries to balance that piece on kind of an impossible shape to be balancing something on. But yeah, there have been some surprising action possibilities. So there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to do something with the shapes that
coming off of.
I wouldn't have expected. That's non-conformist, if you want to say. And then there's going to be the majority who feel or sense the same sort of associations. Name the objects, and some people name them quite literally, so naming them closest to a shape or some geometric structure that they're already familiar with. And some people played with the way the shape would sound like. So kind of like the Buba and Kiki effect, associative sound to image or shape. So if it's pointy, it's got stronger, harsher consonant sounds. If it's rounded, it has more vowels. So it's a Buba. It's round. It's a Kiki. It's a triangle. I don't know. Well, the fact that the objects in themselves have no kind of function or predefined ideal object or technology that's supposed to be integrated in them. They're kind of like faceless blank canvases, or it can be treated as some sort of cognitive tool.